So we're going to talk about upgrading your content, and I'm going to focus on just three tools. One that is my favorite, and then one that is my second favorite, and then another one that's free and there and ready, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my favorite. So you have all this content, right? We all have all this content, all this instructional content, and it helps to get it organized somehow. So yes, we have our learning management systems and we use our tools within those systems. But if you're like me, when it comes to actually designing and creating things from scratch, it can take a long time. It can be challenging. And then honestly, we just don't have time to do so. So we just don't do it, right? We just talk to our kids. We lecture when we need to. We give them the materials that we've been using for a few years. However, some of these templates inside of these tools might be the ticket that you need to upgrade some of that content and to get your kids a little more engaged than maybe they were before, and to give them some sort of activities to do as you're delivering the lessons to them. And then with some of these templates, especially like the slides media templates that I'm going to talk about, think about, what do your kids need? What do you need? How can you engage them? How can you use those templates to organize your content, to help them organize their thinking and ultimately increase their achievement, their learning? And all of these tools, before I click on the first one, please have an open mind and consider, you know what, maybe I could use this for synchronous learning. Maybe I can use this for asynchronous learning. And maybe I could actually learn it even when my kids are in front of me, which I know we all want to have done. So we have, starting from left to right, we have Slides Carnival and Slides Go, which is also at the bottom here. We have Canva, and then this link right here is a link for Canva for Education, which is Canva's way of kind of giving back to the community. So you could apply to get a free Canva account through Canva for Education if you qualify. Otherwise, you can still use the free versions of Canva. You could just use way more of it with the pro version. And then the last tool is Slides Mania, which is one of my personal favorites. And I'm going to pop out of this full screen here to talk to you about them. So Slides Carnival, first of all, it's free. They are templates for Google Slides or PowerPoint. So Microsoft or Google, whichever team you're on or whichever team your school district's on. You can filter your searches, which is what I'm going to show you in a second, by color, by theme, by topic. And there's a lot of cool, like just strictly for educational purposes, templates inside of here. This link to Slides Go, I've kind of moved away from it because there's too many ads for my liking on Slides Go, but Slides Go is very similar to Slides Carnival, and that's where we're going to start right now. So when you click on it and click underneath, which you have to do inside of a Google slide presentation, you come here. And this is going to be the tool that I spend the least amount of time on for this first topic because I need to get to my faves. So this is Slides Carnival's dashboard. And what I like to tell my students is when you get to something new, just sit back and have a think. Just literally take your hands off the keyboard, soak in the screen real estate in front of you so that you feel more comfortable with navigating that new tool. So as I'm sitting here having a think, because I haven't clicked on this in quite a while, the first thing I noticed is this top ribbon up here. So these, we have all this is how Slides Carnival organizes all their slides and PowerPoint templates. So you can look at all the templates and just kind of go through them, but there's quite a lot. That would take you a long time. You can organize them and filter them by color. Many different colors. There's an ad, go away. You can also organize it by like a feel, by like a mood. Like, what do you want your kids to, what content are you presenting? Do you want something playful when you're talking about, like a cancer research project in science? Probably not. So these kind of help you organize and customize your templates so that you get the results you need. And then if you don't really want to browse and you're just like, no, I really want something specific, there's the search bar up here on the right-hand side. And you can even put in something like education, or I think I put in school one time, and a lot of results came up here too. So you can customize your search inside of this free template site however you want. And then I'm just going to walk you through one of them. So however you however you decide to get to the template you want or start browsing through. So it says I put in education. There's 42 results for an educational templates or something they consider educational templates. Doesn't mean that you can't use the other ones for educational purposes. You just kind of scroll through and you can see all the little thumbnails, the little pictures right here. And then you find one that kind of speaks to you. I'm going to definitely pick a random one, probably dinosaurs, 'cause that's what my daughter's into right now. And don't forget at the bottom here, when you get to the bottom, there's usually, so there's 42 results. We didn't see the 42 results, right? So not to insult anybody's intelligences, but when you get to a new tool, sometimes you don't see all the features that you have in front of you. So make sure that you pay attention to, like, is there more? Is that it? Well, here's all the different pages that you can click to with all the other options on there. Looks like my internet's running super slowly, cool. And then you can just skip all the way through to the end until you see all the templates. But I'm gonna go back to page 1 and I'm going to click on that dinosaur template so you can see what this could look like and how you could utilize it in your learning space. So you could either click on the actual picture itself or the title of the presentation template. And this is a presentation template. It says who it's created by, who it's designed by. Again, sit back, have a think here. Don't just start clicking on things because there are some ads on here and that might take you somewhere you don't want to go. So this says it's, cute dinosaurs. It's free for PowerPoint and Google Slides. Okay, cool. We can download it. Great. This is just the overview right here. And then you can either click on this where it says go to preview and download, or you can kind of scroll through if you're interested. Like I know you all are because you're all teachers. It's just who we are, what we do. So getting down here to the template. When I click on the template, I can start going through to see what all the other slides look like. So, and then how I can customize it to fit my needs. So going through all the arrows here, you see all of these, even in like Slides Go and even in the Slides Media I'm going to show you, all of them have the opening instructions for use, which is awesome. So like when we download this, we're going to have that. So if you forget everything I say today, you'll know how to use it and how to like add it to your Google Drive, how to make a master copy and all that stuff. And then scrolling through, usually they have on all these templates an introduction. I forget sometimes, like when especially if I'm working with a new group of students or a new group of teachers, I forget introductions, or it doesn't have to be like introducing you. It could be introducing a topic or a transition to a new topic or a new chapter or something. So that kind of like hello page is on all of them. And then this is another reason I love these tools because when I was in the classroom, I mean, I still am sometimes, I forget to like tell kids that we're moving on to something new, or that, I'm not a textbook when I speak. So I don't often speak like a textbook where I'm like, okay, now we're on chapter 2. Now go to session 1. But these templates kind of force you as an educator to make sure that you're organized so that the kids understand that they're transitioning and the kids understand what they're doing in class. So these transitions obviously look different depending on the template, but you can customize them. You can make copies of them. So if you have like 8 transitions, you can just make a copy of these slides or these PowerPoint templates and make it in there. And then this is where I'm going to kind of fast track it through. So you can it says there's 5 of 29. So 29 slides total around slide number 5. And I'll just show you kind of what it looks like. So there's a whole bunch of different kinds of slides. No, you don't have to use like this dinosaur. Like you can replace those images. You can replace some of the text. You can replace some of the colors. But keep in mind, these are templates. These are designers who have made these templates so that they look good, so that they're appealing, and so that it's easy on the eyes to the end user. So once I go through here and I think, you know what, this is definitely the dino template I want, then we have to take it and make it our own, because right now we're just looking at a template that anyone in the world could take and use. So to do that, and I'm going to use Google in this example, but you can also certainly, if you're a if you're a Microsoft user, you can download the PowerPoint template and it'll work in a lot in the same way. So I say, yes, I want this. I'm going to use it as a Google Slides template. And as soon as I click on it, it forces a copy. And those of you that know how to force copies in Google Slides, that's exactly what it did. That's why it says copy up here. And then when I click on make a copy, it is no longer anybody else's. It is all mine. And hopefully it's not too slow here. And then I just want to show you a few more things before I move on to Slides Mania, and then I'll do Canva after that. So now this should look pretty familiar for those of you that use Google Slides. This is editable, and I know it's editable because when I look up in the Omnibox, it says edit. And when I click on it, I can edit it. So right now it's not necessarily inside of my Google Drive where I want it to be. It's inside my Google Drive, but you might want to, number one, put it where you want it. So as soon as you get these things, you can come up here to the Move folder, and then you can customize and move it wherever you want. I'm just going to put it inside of here, say Move here, and now I'll know that it's inside of there. The next thing you should probably do is change the title, just so you don't forget these things later, just like you would do with any other Google Slides. I want to put Dino here. Dino template. Because it's yours and it's all yours and you can do anything you want with it. And when I click on the actual slides themselves, you'll notice that your cursor turns into an editable cursor, and you can start, no, I have no idea what I'm saying here. You could start editing just like you could any other Google Slides template. And that's that. I don't want to go too far into editing because your content is your content and you're the masters of your content, and I'm not going to interfere with that, but I do want to show you the last couple of things that are at the end of all of the slide templates and the PowerPoint templates. So at the very end, there's always like a thank you and talks about who created the template, but then there's all these emojis. So like if you don't have emojis on your browser, or if you don't feel like going to an outside source to get emojis, you can get all these emojis, you can get all of these infographics, and you can literally just click on them and copy them or drag them if you wanted to, but copy them. I'm going to copy right here, Command C, and paste them wherever you want to paste them, so that you don't have to create something from scratch. You have an icon or an image or something, or an emoji like these over here that fit your needs. So that's kind of cool too. It's kind of like I think it's kind of like a bonus for these templates, so that you're not going to Google and searching for all these images. That takes a lot of time. So that's that in a nutshell. And everything else is editable, just like it always is. And the last thing I'll say here is don't forget to share it, to make sure that when it's ready to go live to your kids, that unless you put it in Google Classroom and then you share it that way, but don't forget to share it, because right now, as soon as you put it into your drive, it is private, only to you. So that is, let me back out of here. That is how you go into a Slides Carnival or a Slides Go, navigate, find a template that you want, and take it and make it your own. And then I'm going to close this so that I save some bandwidth. I'm going to actually move over into Slides Mania because it's very similar, but Slides Mania is my favorite, as I put in the dorky little comment over here. It's my favorite. It's made by Paula Martinez, a super cool lady who's not even an educator. She just noticed a need for this and started pumping out all these super cool templates. And there's even a place to buy her a coffee if you really like what she does, because she does this all for free. So Slides Mania, I'm going to take a deep breath because I get really excited about this. Slides Mania is sweet. It's a lot like Slides Carnival and Slides Go, but way better. I'm going to come back here too because I want to talk to you about some things that I like. You can get choice boards out of here. You can get organizers out of here. You can get a lot of things out of here, and I'm going to show you how. And there's a little coffee on the bottom right hand side if you want to send Paula a coffee for making all these cool things if you like them. So sit back and have a think. Okay, this looks pretty similar. I look at my dashboard. I see the ribbon up here is like how I can navigate, how I can filter. But as you can see right off the bat, there's education at the forefront. And inside of here, there are super cool templates, not just slides and PowerPoint templates, but like templates that kids can interact with. Digital notebooks that you can use, and I'll get there in a second. And please, if you want to geek out on your own and do this as I'm talking, go for it. I just want to highlight some of my favorites in here. There's choice boards and there's planners, and I just think, like, what better way to organize yourself digitally and help your kids get organized digitally than to use a template and not make something from scratch. So before I jump into these though, The rest is kind of the same. You can filter by color, you can filter by feel, by theme, and then there's also this over here. And I promise I'll jump back to the other stuff. These are made by educators for educators. So in all of your free time, browse some of these. They're super cool. Usually they're like super relevant to the time. Like there's a little Valentine's Day thing here. And just a lot of neat templates that teachers made because they were relevant to what they were doing. So check that out. That's the EDU by EDU section. And I'm going to go to one of my favorite things. So coming back up here to the top to education, I'm going to show you a notebook style because there's a lot of cool things in here. Okay, so same thing. These are all templates and they're for Google Slides or PowerPoint, but you can use them for different purposes. So those of you that, you know, in person, your kids had this notebook and you liked it because you could refer back to it. That's where they like documented everything and that made sense to you and it made sense to them. Well, here's a digital version that you don't have to do anything with, but take and make your own. So I like a lot of these. And of course, it depends on what you're teaching and who your audience is, but there's like some elementary focused ones. And when you click on them, again, it'll give you a preview. So I just clicked on that little elementary notebook. It'll give you a preview up here to kind of show you how it's outlined, what they look like and how you can edit it. And then you can go down to the bottom, just like we did with Slides Mania, and you can go through each of the slides to see if it's what you're looking for specifically. And remember, like if you don't like reading and writing and math and whatever else, those are the things you can edit. So that's how you can customize these things, and even the days of the week. Even these tabs here on the side, when I click on them, as you can see, you click on it and it goes right to that day of the week. Maybe you wanted to say something like A block or B block or period 1 or session 2 or whatever you want. Those are the things that you can actually edit when you open it in Google Slides. I already did it. Might as well do it for you. When you open it in Google Slides and make it your own. So think about those things. And maybe this style, of course, isn't working for you, which is totally fine. But I clicked on it on accident. If I wanted to go through with this and edit it and make it my own, I would go to use template, which I'm not going to do right now. I'm just going to close this and go back. So think about that. Think about some things that you could use. This could be something you have in Google Classroom that it's there for the kids. They can't edit it, but they can view it and they can go through it and they can see what's due that day. You can even put hyperlinks in here to make it more interactive so that the kids have access to it and they can click on it and it takes them to an activity, or it takes them right to like a reading website or a math game or something. Totally customizable. You can take these and use them and like kind of keep them in your little teacher tool cabinet, or you can also do something like this. So those are just a few notebook styles. You can also go into some of the planners and use them with your kids. So this could be like a year-long thing, or this could be like a planner, a way to organize like a research project or something that a collaborative thing that your kids are doing together, or just to get them like time management, planning their stuff. I love this file cabinet one because I think this could be super versatile. I think it could be really versatile for anything you want to, like you could, again, take the Monday off of these little file cabinets. Let me go down where it's more interactive. You could take the Monday off of those little file cabinets and put something else in there. Like, hey, everybody, this is all your, I don't know, your hypothesis stuff for the science experiment that you're doing. So all your stuff goes inside of here. And then here's where all your research goes. And here's where all your, forgive me, I can't think of the next step. Here's where everything else goes. And then put your final, publishings right here. And that could be something, again, like that you could use or the kids could take and make it their own, because all it takes is you sharing this template with them, and then they can take it and they can use it. And if you're in Google Classroom, you can force a copy for each kid so they each get their own, or it could be something more collaborative. But those are just a few ideas. And the choice boards are another thing. So talking about creating this content, talking about creating things that are flexible for your kids. That you maybe just make one time and then you can use over and over again. These are some tools that might be really awesome for you to use and could flex no matter what your learning environment is. Like this true false thing, that's so easy, right? And it's getting kids engaged, it's getting kids to answer questions. There's a Jeopardy template like I talked about before. Basically, you're making these things and you're giving it to the kids and you're using it over and over again. So is there work up front? Yeah, for sure. There always is. But will those master templates of whatever you choose over here be there forever? Yes, of course. So I think that was all I wanted to talk about with Slides Mania. Hopefully you heard my excitement as I got into there. And then you just make it once. And then what I would do with some of those before I get into Canva with the Slides Carnival and the Slides Mania is I think about things that, you know, upgrading your content one tiny bit at a time. Maybe just think about something you could use those with, like something like a warm-up activity. So you make like a master warm-up activity template using one of these things, and then you just make a copy of it for every single warm-up activity you do for like each week. And then you build your own little beautiful library of warm-up activities that you can use for the rest of the year and for next year, and they'll be done. All right, so I'm going to go into Canva again. Click on, sorry about that. Click on that little Canva for Education if you want to look into applying for a free upgraded, log in here, a free upgraded subscription. Otherwise, just like me, just use the free stuff. So for those of you that are familiar with Canva, cool. I'm so glad you're using it. For those of you that are not familiar with Canva, Canva is like a beast of a creation tool that you can use for way more stuff than I'm going to show you. Like you can see my resumes down here. It's cool. I like to think I'm a creative person, but then I look into some of these templates and I'm like, ooh, I should really up my game. And what I really like about Canva lately is that you can do a lot of cool things like grab some Google Classroom headers and customize some things that you maybe are, I don't know, bored with or just want to upgrade. And when you click on this banner, when I'm inside of my Canva dashboard, you can go into school. And then as soon as you click on school, you have all of these options to choose from, and then we'll get a little deeper into them too. But so you have posters you can make, you can use a template, some infographics, some presentation tools, brochures, worksheets, lesson plans, yearbook ideas, class schedules are like, there's like mind maps in here. Actually, I'm going to click on that one. And then I talked about the Google Classroom header. So I did that too fast. So this is your overall dashboard. And I'm not going to like do too much of a tour in here because everything's kind of right in front of your face right now. But when you get inside of here, you find the templates that you want based on what you want to find. So if I wanted to find like a mind map, I could have just gone up here and typed in mind map or Google Classroom or whatever. Or you can use the filtering tools that they have right here, which I did. And I clicked on school and then I clicked on mind map. And then that opened into a new tab right over here. And this is what Canva does. You can always go back to your home screen and then you'll have what you're currently working on right here. Cool thing about Canva, a lot like Google, is it saves things automatically as long as you have, you know, an internet connection. Even if you start working on a design and you stop, it'll save it and it'll end up right here under your designs. So that's neat. You don't have to save it and think about it. Take something off your plate. So I click on mind map, and then as you can see, there's like a whole bunch of ideas here. Some are free, most are free. Some of them aren't. You could search the free tools when you're searching, or when you hover over them, they'll say free in the little corner here. And then if you don't have a pro account, or if you don't qualify for that pro account, sometimes it's like one little image. Like in my resume, there was like one little image that was, when I downloaded it, you cost like $1 or something. So just depends on how much you love that content and how willing you are to pay for it. But most of the stuff is free and pretty good in my opinion. So I'm sifting through these mind maps here. I'm going to click on one just for the sake of time. I don't know. Let's do this one. Okay, so I clicked on book review guide. Now I can click on this little arrow to hide all those other options. And you have your editable dashboard right here. So there's nothing in here that you can't edit, basically. You can zoom in like I'm going to. right down here at the bottom. Let's do, don't want to make it too big. Okay, let's do 100. So when you click on these things, they're kind of their own little piece, and that's what you can edit, and that's what you can customize. So you can click inside the box, it'll highlight the box, and double click, and then you can start editing. So book review guide, maybe, oops, get your hands on the keys, Pam. Okay, student review guide. You can customize the text that way. You can delete whole sections. Even these little sections right here, you can customize. So maybe this is a specific book that the kids were reading. And by the way, kids can use this too with proper permission. So when you highlight these little things in this little wheel on this mind map, you can customize it. So maybe you want to add main characters or the characters' names, or maybe you don't say the word context in your class to your kids, and you want to adjust that to have common language. Whatever you need to do here, you can do. And then again, so many different uses. So this could be your flexible classroom material. This could be something that you take and the kids can make their own. This could be something that you make and you design to have as part of your lesson. Whatever you want to do with it, it's up to you. And the sky's kind of the limit. You can add a lot of things on the left-hand side here, which I could probably spend like all day doing, but it's already halfway through our session, so I won't. You can upload your own content, like, oh, there's my profile picture. You can also add other photos to this. You can include audio. You can add more text. You can include videos to make it a bit more interactive. And then you can mess with the background and organize things by folders. But going back to the edit view here, once you're done doing whatever you need to do with it, it's already saved, and right here is how you title it. So I'm just gonna put something here. Then you can download it or you can share it. And the way to do that, and this is where like the power of Canva comes in, when you download and you go to this little download button. Oh, wait, one more thing before you download. You could also present right from Canva. So if you don't want to do a thing and you just made this off the like on the fly, you could present right from Canva with this little present tool, and you could go through whatever it is that you made. So you never have to take it out of Canva is my point. Or if it's like a thing where you want your kids to all engage in, and you want to customize it during a synchronous session or something, then you present it and then they tell you who the main characters were. They tell you who the author was, or whatever it is that you're talking about with them. However, if you want to download it and put it somewhere, like put it in your LMS, or you actually even, I download these things a lot because I don't always like making things from scratch, and I will turn this into a whole slide, or I will turn this into a little icon or something on a Google site if I'm making a Google site for my kids or something. And when you do that, you go to download and then you click on file type, and there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do depending on what it is that you're creating. You can download this like a PNG or a JPEG, so different images, so pictures. Usually a PDF, like this thing is probably going to look best as a PDF. You can download it as a PDF with like high print quality if it's something you want to print. And then if it's applicable, you can save it as MP4, like a video file, or a GIF, depending on what it is that you're doing. But either way, the idea here is using these templates, and I'm going to go back to the home screen here, using these templates so that you don't have to create stuff from scratch, and so that they're flexible enough that you can take them and you can edit them, and whatever you make in Canva just kind of sits in here, and you can go back and customize it, based on like the next group of kids you're going to get next year or next semester, or a different class period. Because the other thing you can do, for those of you that teach multiple sections, is you can make copies of these things. So if I customize this for my first period students, but I know my second period students need something in different colors, or they need to use different words, or they need some differentiation or modifications. Whatever I do here, I can just make a copy of by going to, what am I doing? Duplicate. So this little add page, oh my gosh, sorry, hold on. Okay, I made a mistake. I'm gonna get out of here. When I click this whole thing, sometimes tech people struggle. When I click this whole thing, I can duplicate the page up here. And I click on duplicate, and now it looks exactly like it did up here. So when you're, you want to duplicate things, or honestly, if you want to make one of these for each one of your kids and just customize it, and you don't want to use any other tools, you could do that. You just keep duplicating it over and over again. And then you'll see it separates it by page up here at the top. Okay, glad I was getting a little sweaty. I was getting nervous with that one. But that is Canva. And that is what I wanted to show you as far as those, I'm going to close these, as far as those 3 tools were concerned, because it helps you upgrade your content without much effort. You just kind of plug and go once you get used to it. And you can share it. You can share it anywhere. What do you do with all that beautiful content that you just created? And here's my challenge to you tonight. And you can choose to accept or not accept this challenge. But my challenge to you is don't let it go to waste. So you did a deep dive. You're probably going to spend hours on some of those tools, because that's what we do as educators. We get excited about stuff. And now what do you do with it? Like, you might deliver it live to your kids, which is totally fine. You might deliver it in a synchronous session, which is totally cool too. I suggest that you capture it somehow, either beforehand or as you're doing it, using some sort of screencasting tool. So here's my challenge. Whether you're comfortable with, and these are just a few of the many tools that you can use, Screencastify. Screencastify is a great tool right here. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I'm going to focus on Flipgrid in a second. Screencastify is great. You can record everything you're doing and saying on your screen. So basically, you would open up Screencastify, and let's pretend this whole slides presentation is something that I'm teaching students, like I'm trying to teach you. You can record and just say, okay, everybody, now, we're going to start with how to design flexible classroom materials. And this whole time, the kids are hearing your voice, they're seeing your material right here. And with Screencastify and Loom, you can even have your little face show up in the corner here, like mine isn't doing, but it could be doing with one of those tools. And then you just go through your content as you would. I mean, it's not as interactive when you do this, right? Because your kids aren't there live, but you're just going through your content. And you're basically like lecturing, like, okay, first we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. You're going to show them everything. Then we're going to do this, blah, 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 show them everything. All right, everybody, hope you enjoy this. You press stop. And then your kids have that amazing little video that you just created to refer back to, no matter what, no matter if they're in person or if they're at home or whatever, because kids, just like all of us, can't just listen to you say something once and remember it. They need to hear it over and over again, and they should hear it over and over again so that they can absorb it and they can reflect and they can do something with it. So think about that. That's your challenge. You have all these amazing tools. Even if you're presenting live during Google Meet, which I'll get to later, record the Google Meet, record what you're doing so that all your little beautiful content tools aren't going to waste, and you can use them over and over again. And the other thing I want to talk about is Flipgrid being maybe your one-stop shop. So forever, I was like using all these different tools like Screencastify, and I'm on a Mac, so I would use QuickTime Player on the Mac. And I was also using Flipgrid, and I was like, why am I not just using Flipgrid for all the things? Like, I can upload things, I can upload my content, and that's what I want to show you right now. So with Flipgrid, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they have this thing called Shorts now, and I'm going to click on it. So yes, you can use Flipgrid for all the amazing collaborative tools, which are great, but you can also use it to do a screencast and to kind of like be a part of your lesson delivery. So bear with me for a few seconds as I go through this. Using Flipgrid as a discussion, cool. I know a lot of you do it. That's awesome. You create topics, your kids interact with it. Yes, keep doing that. But Flipgrid has this thing called Shorts now, which to me is a game changer. And maybe it's not to you, but please indulge me for a second. So with Shorts, which is all up here, those of you that are familiar with Flipgrid, this is the way to navigate through all their different tools. With Flipgrid and Shorts, you can now do everything that Screencastify and Loom do, but with Flipgrid and with all the power of Flipgrid in the same spot, like in one place. You can also, which you couldn't do before with these Shorts, take them and post them somewhere. So why not make your life easier? Why not just use one tool that's versatile enough to do everything you need it to? And no, I don't work for Flipgrid, but why not just use one tool to make your life easier? Because you can create a, a session, you can create a screencast, you can create a video, you can upload and go over your stuff like I'm going to show you in a second. It saves right here, like this little dorky short that I made. I don't even know what this says actually. And then you just go on this little copy link and you click on the copy link and then you post it literally anywhere you want. You can email it to your kids. You can put it in a chat during a Zoom or during a Google Meet. You can put it in a learning management system, whatever that may be. And kids don't have to log into anything. They just click on the link and it opens up and it plays for them. So, and that's really good for like a lot of our little learners too, that you don't want to have login to 8 million things. So it kind of makes, I think, everybody's life easier. And here's how you do it. So hopefully I remembered my, yep. Sorry. So you click on the record a short. And as soon as you click on record a short, the basics will pop up. So you have your camera. It'll probably initially ask you, just like it always does, for access to your camera, access to your microphone, allow all those things. And then here's what you have to work with. So you see you have a span of 10 minutes. Kids probably won't pay attention to longer than 10 minutes anyways, like adults can't. And then you have some tools to work with. So sit back and take a look at what you have to work with. Don't hit close on accident like I did last night, because then it doesn't save and then you get annoyed. But you have your recording tool right here. So nothing's recording right now. That's good, because we're going to go into some of the effects that you can use and some of the different options that you can use. Oh, and this is another option. So those of you that, if anyone knows Holly Clark, I just saw on one of her Facebook features last night that she just wanted people to know that you can use the mic only feature in Flipgrid Shorts. And with the mic only feature, you can just record your voice. So you can add this as a video file to add to anything you want. And then you can also upload clips that you've already created. So some video clips that you might want to mash together, maybe like a screen recording you've already done and then you want to talk about it with your kids, you could do that too. You can also, you can mute yourself. So if you want to record your screen or record something without your audio, you can mute yourself. And then mirroring your, oopsie, I'll get rid of mic only. That's why that was right. You could mirror your video. I can't think of a reason to do that off the top of my head, but I'm sure you can, and it's really awesome. And then you can record your whole screen here too. Before you do that though, I want to show you some things you can do before you start recording your whole screen. So some of the things that you can do inside of Flipgrid that are tried and true favorites that you've probably used when you're just doing like a discussion for your kids, you can add your filters. So a lot of different filters here. We'll just go black and white, why not? And you can also add a frame, add different kinds of frames depending on what your content is. This could be like a newsreel or something cute. To click happy, you can add emojis, you can add text. You can add your draw tools which is helpful, because if you're focusing on your Google Slides and you want to edit over it and annotate over it, you can do that too. And you can adjust the color of your pen and the pen tool that you're using. You can also adjust the thickness. And then you can add a board here, which I think is real neat. And not only can you add a board, but you can split your screen. So let me go to, I don't know, let's just get a kind of boring old notebook. Hopefully no one's offended that I said boring, but then here's what you can do. You can split your screen. So here I come on my screen. I don't know what's more important, probably what I'm doing, not my face. But it's important for your kids to see your face, right? It is, whether you're comfortable being on the camera or not, it's important for your kids to see your face, especially for your kids that need to read your lips and hear what you're saying and see what you're saying. Maybe this filter wouldn't be the best. But now I have a place to work with on the right hand, or one side, and I have my face on the other side. So I'm going to go back to my other tools. You could also insert photos. So you could insert like a map or something right here. You could insert anything you want. You could take a screenshot of something, a lot of things you could do. And I'm also going to get my draw tool right here. So I'm ready to go. Let's do blue. All right. And now I close my, my tool options right here, and I can start recording. and I can already hear my old Mac making noises. So hopefully this works. If not, please try it on your own. This is good. This should be cool. So I hopefully have my marker going. Yes, I do. So you can start recording just like you would with any other Flipgrid video. You say, "Hi everybody, happy to see you, whatever. Let's go over that one math problem again, and we'll do it slowly for those of you that didn't get it the first time." So we have, this is where my brain is tonight. We have our math problem. Okay, some of you made a mistake. Some of you didn't put the right symbol. That's how you do it. Go try again. I know you can do it. Let me know if you have any questions. Then you pause it. And as soon as you pause it, you could either keep recording, you could go back, you can do a whole bunch of different things. You could redo it, or you click on next. You say, "Hey everybody, happy to see you, whatever. Let's go over that one math problem again, and we'll do it slowly for those of you that didn't get it the first time." So we have, all right, and sorry, that was so loud, everybody. And from here you can trim, you can edit. Like I made that little weird squiggle at the beginning, or I was talking to my daughter or something that interrupted me, whatever. You can edit and you can customize it here. And you can also download the video from here, or you can keep moving into the next feature, which is actually keeping it in your Flipgrid library. And of course, that's what our faces always look like, right? Thanks, Flipgrid. So you might want to select a frame, might be like a specific frame in the video that that you want the kids to focus on, or you just take a selfie and whatever. I'm not going to get that out of the way right now. Just go confirm, give it a title, and then you're done after you hit confirm. And then what it's going to do is it's going to upload your video depending on how long it is. It's going to save it to that little library that I showed you at the start. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. And from here, you can do literally anything you want with it. So you can share it right directly to a Google Classroom if that's the LMS you're using. You can embed it somewhere. You can, again, this is another place to download it. Share it with a QR code. So you could like print this out if you're in person, or you can put it somewhere in a choice board or something. And then Microsoft Teams is on here, Remind's on here, and Twitter's on here. And if you do nothing right here and you don't copy it right here and just close it, that's okay, because it's right here in your library, and you just copy the link whenever you need to, and then you can do whatever you need to with the link, post it to all those places or not. And then the last thing I'm going to say about this is you can also take all these things and put them together in a mixtape, which I'm not going to get into right now, but a mixtape is a really cool place for you to kind of put a bunch of videos, make a video library for your kids to go through, and they never have to like go to YouTube or anything like that. They just have to stick right in Flipgrid. So that was my challenge to you, to use Flipgrid for everything it can be used for when designing your flexible lesson materials. So you took all the time to make that beautiful content. You use those templates, you even recorded them. Now, like, what do you do with it? My other challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to use the time that you have with your kids. Maybe it's a small group, maybe it's a whole group. Use that for letting them talk to each other, talk to them, engaging with them, and use those videos that you just created. Like let them look at those ahead of time, or let them look at those afterwards. Don't necessarily have it be what you do with them and the precious time you have with them. And I think that's where the sacrifice would come in and would come back to you and your kids twofold, because you put in the time and effort so that you can actually use the time to connect with them when you are on your Zooms, when you are on your Google Meets, and when you are meeting with them in small groups. And then real quick, I'm just going to go over these two slides, and I want to get into one of my other favorite tools before we end tonight, and we'll take some questions. But you also have a lot of tools at your fingertips that you might not think are tools, but they are. So if you use Google Meet or if you use Zoom, don't be afraid to use things like the breakout rooms. Don't be afraid to use like the polling, if like in Google Meet, if your school district allows that. But use those tools when you have the kids in front of you. And what I like to do with either of these things, because it's, I don't know, it can kind of be a little stressful to manage all your kids, I know that, and then come up with like a spontaneous poll for them. I like to have a Google Doc created when I'm doing my meetings for the kids. And then I like to, or for teachers too. And then I like to just kind of have it open on the side and then just say, okay, if this topic comes up, I'm going to copy and paste this question from this Google Doc, and make it relevant. Or if I have 4 groups of kids I'm working with, I know I'm going to have 4 different questions. And then you can use it with your kids when you're in those synchronous sessions. There's some cool links on here. There's some templates for some breakout rooms for how to organize them with Google Meet. There's some cool ideas for how to organize polls with Zoom. And then there is another one, a template for breakout rooms for Zoom as well. And then before I get into my last tool, these are amazing ideas that are already created for you. You don't have to do anything. They're materials that you could just take and go and use using any one of these platforms. And they all came from Matt Miller and Ditch That Textbook. So if you're not familiar with him, do go become familiar with him. He's amazing.
Now, Pam, I think we may have lost you.
Oh no, when? Am I back? Am I back, Lauren? Oh, hello, everybody. I'm fine. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here awkwardly. Sorry about that. Let me go back. Stopping video, going back. My bad. My daughter is probably on her tablet. Actually, I told her not to be, and I apologize, everybody. Okay. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna move forward unless I hear otherwise. I'm gonna pop in the chat really quick. Oh, okay. Maybe we lost Lauren. I see Steph said that. Okay, I'm gonna also keep this chat right here, like I should have been doing the whole time. Everybody, I'm so sorry. I don't know what you didn't hear. My apologies. Silly technology. But I'm just gonna move forward because we don't have much more time together. So what I was just talking about, is it too loud and clear, Wayne? Let me know. So, oh, thank you. Okay, cool. So the synchronous stuff, super good to check in with your kids, right? I know you're all doing it. I know you're doing the hardest, like the best job that you can. And quite frankly, I'm sure that you all need to be checked in with too. But I'm just gonna just do that for a second. Not best practice, but that's what I'm doing. These check-ins are great. This first one is just a simple Google form. Mari Matrino, an amazing teacher and then ed tech person as well. She created this just to check in with her kids every day. And it's a great thing to do, like to start your lessons or just to start any sort of meeting with your kids. Like she literally some of these forums, she talks about like, hey, did you eat breakfast today? Like, do you need anything? I'm here, let me know. Like getting kids to think about the things that maybe they wouldn't otherwise think about when it comes to like school, but just making sure that them as a whole person are taken care of. And then a bunch of other ones like that. Like there's a Pear Deck in here. Actually, I am going to click on this Pear Deck one because these are tools that you can, depending on what tool you want, again, don't feel like you have to use all the things, but you just take and go. So Pear Deck has this whole slew of ready to go resources that you can take and literally copy to your Google Drive and then use with your kids. Doesn't require any sort of, not just for checking with your kids, like for content, other content stuff too. So when you click on that, I just wanted to show you what it looked like. You would copy it to your Drive folder and then you would use it with your kids, probably in an add-on. I'm sorry, inside of Google Slides. And then, yeah, I saw someone said Poll Everywhere too, for sure. There's Flipgrid, Jamboard. There's a bunch of different ideas and a bunch of cool templates. So take them, use them. They're not my ideas. They're ideas from many other amazing educators, and I'd like you to benefit from them. So last little bit here, rounding everything off. So get fancy. Again, you can choose to get fancy or not. If you were catching what I was throwing and you like the idea of using these templates and that's like as far as you want to go, then do it. If you want to take it a step further and you want to start recording your stuff so that your kids can have access to it, and then quite frankly, so that you don't have to repeat it next year, do that. If you want to have your kids engage with, here's the, we're gonna bring it all home. Let's pretend you created those templates in Slides, for example. You recorded it all and you want your kids to then interact with it. one of my favorite things to do is use Edpuzzle. Hold on 1 second, Steph, I saw that you had a question. I don't even know if Lauren's on. Yes.
I'm on, Pam. I got
Hey,
knocked off,
Lauren.
but I'm on and I have Steph's question saved.
Good. I'm gonna close this end because I wanna show that everybody something really quick. Thank you, Lauren. I'm glad you're back. All right, so yes, you could obviously have your video, your video playing or your slide deck playing in like Pear Deck, in Jamboard and Nearpod. I'm going to end today's session with Edpuzzle because I like Edpuzzle. I think it makes sense as the next logical step to take these videos and do something with them. But just so everybody knows, in all these slides are a bunch of different ideas with a bunch of different hyperlinks in blue. So use them or don't. But here's Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle is free, and it's a great way to take all of your stuff and organize it in a way that your kids can do something with it. So yes, I'm going to click on it, but you can create classes inside of there. You can actually import your classes or post right to your learning management systems like Google Classroom. I know that for sure. You can upload your content, upload your videos, or find content on here. And then you can, whatever video that you put inside of Edpuzzle, you can take it, you can trim it, you can put your voiceover on, and you can insert questions. And that's what I want to show you today so that your kids can actually interact with it. Because a lot of times, and as I'm doing this, I'm going to open up Edpuzzle. Also, as my voice is going, a lot of times, and I do not want to offend anybody, but think about how many times, even like in the before times when you'd be like, delivering a lesson, you're talking to your kids, you're on like the whiteboard or old school board, whatever it is, and you're like asking questions and you get like the same kids asking questions, or you get the kids that always know the answer, answering your questions, and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling it. All my kids know what I'm talking about, but you haven't really tapped into all your kids because that would literally be impossible unless you use other strategies in the classroom. So, and then take that to a digital world and it's like a whole new ballgame, right? So Edpuzzle can hopefully maybe be a tool that can help make sure that you're getting a pulse, getting a feel for each of your kids. I'm talking about every single one of your kids. And I could do a whole session on Edpuzzle, but I can't, so I won't. But this is a really cool tool that you can take your videos, insert questions, and literally the kids have to stop and ask those questions. So when I click on Edpuzzle, this is my dashboard. We could go on for days, but long story short, 3 main things you can do. You have your, up here on the right hand side, you have your content that you can interact with. So that's videos, all videos that you're uploading, finding and using, or just creating from scratch on here. And then you have your grade book. So once you actually have your kids in here, which I don't, I recently left a school district and lost all my content, and I'm sorry already. But all your kids would be here, all their names would be here. You can have a bunch of different classes on here, and then you can see their progress and how many videos they've watched and how far they've got through the videos. And then all of your classes, all of their assignments that you send in Google Classroom or just right here inside of Edpuzzle are inside of here too. And before I run out of time, I want to show you what you can actually do. So those are the top 3 things you can do. And then of course your profile picture is all your account stuff and all that good information. So much on Edpuzzle. These are all this is actually where I'm going to use one of these pre-made videos instead of uploading one that I made because I don't have one to look at, but you could do this. You can search by Edpuzzle content over here on the side, all these videos. You can search all these YouTube videos that you're already probably doing anyways, right? There's Khan Academy, National Geographic, all these really cool videos that have some rich content for your kids. And you can see I also have like, I don't teach 5th grade right now, but when you create an account, it says like, okay, who are you teaching? What are you teaching? What subject areas are you teaching? And that helps customize and works the algorithm on the back end to give you maybe what you need, but you can also search the entire library regardless of what you need. So basically you find a video. I'm gonna find this video, Shrek in figurative language. Do preview the video, which I am not going to do right now. But the video, when you click on it, it will pop up into this like edit mode. So whether you're uploading your own video or using a video like this one from YouTube, I just want to make sure it plays really quick.
As representatives of the hosts.
Great. It pops up in this edit mode. And these, the ones that you can kind of take and go, they already have what I wanted to show you in here, which is why I'm doing it, because I'm running out of time. So you have a video and you have these little like drops on the bottom. These little, yep, we're going to drops. These little droplets, these little icons are places in the video where there is a question. And you can see this is a 5-minute and 21-second video. And over here on the right side are all the time-stamped places where there is a question. And and we're in teacher view now, so this is a little different than what the kids would see. But you can see exactly what kind of question it is too. So at 36 seconds, it's going to stop and there's going to be a multiple choice question, and that's going to be this one right here. And when you click on it, you can see on the right-hand side what that multiple choice question is, what their options are, and you can edit it. So if you don't like that question, or if you think it should be something more specific, because we're talking about figurative language here in this particular video, then you can edit it. I'm just going to close this and go, oh gosh, and go back then. What am I doing? I'm just going to go back here. Oh my gosh, why? Sorry, everybody. I'm working too fast here. Let me just go to a different video. Okay, so doesn't matter. In this video, you have your video, and then you can actually add content by going, or edit the content by going to the edit button. And on the edit button, that's where you can actually customize. So if you don't want your kids to watch the whole video, no matter what video it is, you can use this little trim tool right here. And that's amazingly loud. And you can trim it and cut it, and you can always reset it. So you really can't do anything that you can't undo. You can insert in this particular video your voice if it was your own video. Like this one's blocked because it's YouTube and they don't want you to do a voiceover on here. And then you can customize it by putting the questions in here. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. So this is where you can actually watch this video ahead of time. I have no idea what it is or even what the content is, but you can start putting some questions in. So you can put multiple choice questions in. You can put open-ended questions in, and you can add little notes. And the purpose of all those obviously is to get the kids to stop, and it'll stop them automatically and ask some questions. So I'm going to click on the multiple choice question. I have no idea what I'm even saying right now. I'm just going to put demo question. Yep, A and B. And this is an example of a multiple choice question. I'm not doing it justice, I realize that, but you can add more than just the two options. By right here, you can select whatever one is the correct answer, or if it's more than the correct answer. It'll show you that it's going to be in here at this 12-second timestamp, and then you can save it. And as soon as you save it, it'll show you that little teardrop, that little dot right here, and that's where your first question is. And then you do whatever you need to do. You watch through the rest of the video, stop it appropriately, add your next question or add a note, and that's a way for you to interact with the kids. And you can, last two things I'm going to say, one, you can customize this so that the kids cannot move past that question unless they answer it, or you can also adjust it so it's like the kids can, you know, give them a little choice. They can watch through the whole video and then they can go back and they can answer the questions, or they could like skip a question. So whatever your kids' needs are, whatever your needs are, it's a super cool tool. And then from there, kids can interact and sign in. I'm just going to finish this video. Let's pretend we had it done. And go back to my content because it should show up there. Well, there it is. There's our little video. So you can assign your kids. You can put it in a folder to have like organize it within Edpuzzle where the kids are signing in, or you can take it and you can assign it in Google Classroom and the kids just go in there and they have a direct link to Edpuzzle and they interact with the tool that way.